I was told to go kill myself. Mind you, the whole class. All right, y'all. So hey y'all, sugar Kobe love, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, then welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a little something different that I have never done on my channel before. So I'm going to be doing a smoke session / mini story time. I don't know, I've never done one of these before, so I don't know how to feel about it. Yeah, so I'm at the beach right now. In front of me I can see the water, kind of, because it's mad dark. All right y'all, so we got our blunt rolled, as y'all can see, but I'm just gonna jump right into the story time. Okay y'all, so this story time is gonna be about me in middle school / elementary, and it's gonna be about how one day I was told to go kill myself. Now I can laugh at it because it was so long ago, and it was like, I know it was really out of like ignorance and, you know, whatever the hell was going on with that kid. You know, they had their own issue. They always took it out on me. But so basically, I was bullied in elementary school, all the way from probably, I would say, from 4th grade going all the way up to 7th grade. It was always this one kid that bullies me for a while. We gonna call him, what we gonna call him, y'all? We gonna call him, but yeah, so we gonna name him Jordan, y'all. So Jordan was this Spanish guy. Jordan always used to bully me, like I said. And there was this one day, right? So he always used to like do this thing where he would talk about my shoes, about how my hair was dead. He used to talk about my forehead, because I feel like back then my forehead was like booming. Now I feel like as I got older, I grew into my head. He always used to bully me about that. He used to be like, oh my god, you got a big ass forehead, blah, blah, blah. He used to be like, oh, you always used to wear the same shoes all the time. Because my mom had this thing where she would buy us a pair of shoes only twice throughout the school year. So in the beginning of the year when we first go to school, and then in the middle of the school year, and that would last us all the way to the end of the school year. Because, you know, we didn't have it like that. It was just my mom taking care of me and my 2 brothers. You know, life was rough for her back then, trying to take care of 3 kids, plus, you know, trying to support us herself. We didn't have it like that. Him, on the other hand, he used to come into school all the time with like new sneakers. Mind you, he was the only kid. I don't know if he still is, but at that time he was the only kid. His mom used to spoil him. So, you know, when you're the only kid, you get spoiled. So he used to get anything that he wanted. So every time a new Jordan came out, he always had it. Like, he always came to school with it. So, you know, he was one of them kids that would look down on the people that didn't have it like that and, you know, talk shit about it. So, you know, every day I would come in, always a new comment from him, always talking about me and stuff like that. There was times where he tried to be nice, but it was just like, there was so much bad. Like, you used to bully me to the point where it was like, all that little time you was trying to be nice didn't even matter at this point, you know? There was this one time, y'all, we were all in class, and I remember exactly what class we was in. We was in social studies. I was sitting in the back row, the last row. I think I was sitting in the last row of class, right? You know, we in social studies, we doing social studies work and shit like that. And I don't know what specifically happened to cause him to say this, but one day, you know, he just said to me in social studies, you should go kill yourself. Now y'all, back then I'm looking like, you know, I had to be like, let me say, I had to be around like 10 or 11. I'm not sure, maybe 9. I'm not sure yet, but I know I wasn't 12 or 13. Yeah, so we in class, and he says to me, you should go, why don't you go kill yourself? Mind you, the whole class, y'all, the whole class heard him say, go kill yourself. And everyone turns around and they look at him and they're like, oh my gosh, like, you know, everybody's in shock that he just said that out loud. And the teacher heard him too. And I remember there was this one girl, we gonna call her Ashley. Ashley goes and she says to him, why would you say that? Oh my gosh, blah, blah, right? And I'm just like, I just looking at him because I didn't know what to say. He got in trouble by the teacher because the teacher heard him, because you said that in front of the whole class, and it was like, it wasn't quiet in the class, but you know, it wasn't loud, so people could hear what you're saying. And you know, I didn't really know what to say. I was kind of getting emotional inside, but I wasn't trying to let it show. I think I either left the class or I just stayed in the class and was just silent the rest of the class, you know? I didn't really try to let it affect me, but it was really bothering me inside. And I remember feeling like, oh my gosh, he really just said this to me. Like, the whole class heard him. I felt like embarrassed And I was like, I didn't know what to do, because it was just like, what the fuck can I do? Should I walk out the class or should I stay? You know? But that kind of just stood with me for like a few days. A couple days later, I came into the class. You know, I'm in class, we doing work, and then we had a little notebook. So I'm like writing in the notebook. Instead of writing the work, I'm just there, you know, doodling while the teacher's talking. In the notebook, I wrote, I want to die, I want to die, I want to die, I want to die. I just kept saying, I want to die, I want to die, and I wrote it over and over on the piece of paper. And I think somebody saw it. I like crumbled up the paper because I was like, you know, I didn't want nobody to see it, and I crumbled it up and I threw it in the garbage, right? I threw the paper in the garbage, and I don't know how. I don't know if somebody told the teacher or what. A couple hours later, you know, go to lunch, come back, we in a whole different class now. I think it was math class, and the social worker comes and she asks us to see me. So I walk out the class. At this time, I didn't know what she wanted me for. So I walk out the class, right? Still trying to figure out. We go to her office. And in her office, y'all, we sat down at the table, right? We sat down at the table, right? And she goes, I want to show you something. And I want you to know that this is an open space. Whatever you tell me, it's going to stay between us unless I feel like it's harming you. She goes to her desk and she comes down and she sits. She has something in her hand. She has the paper that I crumbled up and threw in the garbage, where I wrote, I want to die, I want to die, I want to die. She opened it up, uncrumbled it in front of me, and she said, did I write this? I told her yes, but you know, like, I was scared to say yes, but I don't know. It was like a cry out for help in a way. Inside, I was like slowly just becoming more depressed. Mind you, like I said, he was bullying me like almost every day of school. Every time I walked into school, it was always something with him, to the point where, you know, my mom knew of him because I used to go home and I used to tell her stuff when it came like really serious, and it was to a point where I couldn't take it anymore. I used to tell her things, and she used to come to the school and it used to be, you know, they knew that me and him couldn't get along and stuff like that. I told her yes, and she was like, what made me write that? And I told her what happened. She said, you know, they gotta ask these questions all the time. Do I feel like harming myself and blah blah blah? And I told her, I don't feel like harming myself. I just feel like I just want to die, you know? Because hearing him say that to me, it was just like, I want to die. Like, why should I even be alive? Because every day, it was getting to the point, every day I'm coming to the school, I'm getting bullied by the same one kid, and it was really getting to me. And it was like, even though teachers knew, it didn't stop. It was still going on. So I was just getting more and more fed up within myself, and I was just like, I just don't want to go through this no more. So I was like, I want to die. Can't really remember too much into what our conversation was, but you know, she basically just talked to me about how I felt, why I felt that way, and what I can do to prevent it, to prevent like feeling the way that I felt. She said she wasn't gonna like call my mom or anything, because I was like, oh my gosh, she gonna call my mom, blah blah blah. Then she decided to set up like a time where I would come in, and you know, we would have our weekly like chat. She was the school psychiatrist, but she could also be like a social worker in a way. But she set it up where I would come to see her every week. You know, we would talk throughout the weekdays. If she saw me, she would check up on me. If I saw her, you know, I would tell her something if I need to, or whatever like the case was. That was like the start of my depression. I'm not gonna go too deep into my depression in this video, because that's not really what this video is about. But being bullied by him every day was leading to the beginning of my depression. I didn't really know at the time what depression was, so it was just like, I used to just call it like, you know, I was always sad. I was always like in my feelings because of this one kid, and it was always the same thing every day. You know what, after a while that gets tiring. That's gonna bring you down as a little kid. You know, it's like, damn, I felt like nobody liked me. I felt like I didn't have no friends. I don't think that kid noticed how his words affected people, but he did come after a few days and apologize. I don't know if it was the teacher that made him apologize, or if he like did it on his own, but he came to me up one day and he apologized. And I felt like he didn't really mean it. I felt like he was forced to say it, but you know, after that, he didn't really, you know, he kind of calmed down with the like bullying and stuff like that. But after a while, it started up again, like just slowly. And at that time, it wasn't just him doing it. It was a couple other people, you know, adding on to the bullying and stuff like that. Honestly, those words always stuck in my head from then till now, like growing up. There's times where nowadays I would go back and I'll think about it, and I was just like, it wouldn't really affect me too much now, because now I'm a little older and stuff like that. And now me and that same kid, like, we cool, we not friends or nothing, but like you know, if he says something to me, I'll say hi, whatever, like the case is. One time I saw him in Walmart with my mom, and he was with his mom, and I didn't know it was him. At first, I'm like, this person looked familiar, but I didn't really know it was him at first until I really got closer, because we ended up at the same cash register. Not the same, but like I was at one and he was at the one next to me with his mom. And I looked and I was like, Mom, that's Jordan. And she was like, oh, that's cool. You know, like, wasn't really much to say. Like, he saw me and we waved at each other and stuff, kept it pushing. At that time, it was like he's way older now. He looked different. It was kind of weird because I was like surprised that he even remembered me, you know? Me and him have each other on like social media and stuff. First time we talked for a few and stuff like that. So it's like now it's no hard feelings towards anybody, you know. I don't hate him or nothing like that. But I just wish, you know, when he was a kid that he did things differently, because words can really affect somebody more than you know. You know, you might say it in a jokingly way, which that was another thing, y'all. He tried to make it seem like he said it in a joking way, and it's like, that's something you don't fucking joke about. Like, you don't joke about telling somebody to go kill themselves. What? Like, that's crazy. That's not a joke. Nowadays, people take that shit OD serious. And back then, I took that shit serious because it was to the point where I'm writing on a piece of paper, I want to die, I want to die. That's how you know that, like, it was in my head. Because it's like, if I'm writing on a piece of paper, that means that it's stuck in my head over and over. And I'm the type of person where I don't like to talk. So it's kind of like hard for me to express my feelings by speaking when it comes to certain things, or to things that really affect me. I don't like to really talk about it. I don't like to go into details. So if I have talked to you about it, I have to feel comfortable enough to open up to you, because I'm just not a talkative person about my feelings. I would more write than talk, and that's what I did back then, and I still do it to this day now. But now as I'm older, I've kind of a little better with kind of speaking about my feelings and stuff that happened to me in the past that really affected me deeply. I'm gonna have different story times about those situations. Whenever I smoke, y'all, I start to get the munchies and I start to get thirsty at times. Y'all, I came prepared. Come on, next. But yeah, so back then I used to always just write my feelings. Y'all, it was just like, it was part where I was crying. There was days where I'd be home and I'll just be crying because I'll just, once again, remember what he said to me, and it's just like, damn, somebody really told me I should go kill myself. Like, am I that bad of a person to, like, did he really not like me this much to tell me that? Like, I wanted to know what was the reason and why. Like, why me? You know, that's how I felt. And, you know, I used to cry, but nobody knew that I used to cry. I just used to cry and then just keep it to myself and stuff like that. Even in school, there'd be times where I'll be breaking down crying, where he would say something to me and I would like leave the class and go cry in the bathroom and then come back. I'm acting like nothing was wrong, because I was really like good at hiding my feelings. Because over time, just going through different stuff and situations that nobody really knew of, or that only certain people knew. So, you know, I used to just be very good at hiding all that because nobody really knew, because I didn't talk, you know. You know, everybody will always used to think I'm happy and jolly, but really deep down I was. At that time, like I said, I didn't know what depression was. I didn't know what any of that was. So I'm feeling the way I was feeling, not knowing that I was low-key building up depression slowly throughout my whole elementary school when the bullying started. Me and this kid used to always go at it, to the point where they used to like make sure me and him didn't sit together. If he was too close to me, they would move us so we're far away from each other and stuff like that. My mom used to always come up to school because there was always something wrong with me and him, to the point where like we all had to have a meeting with me, him, and his mom and my mom. And then there was another meeting where it was just my mom and his mom. I don't really know what they talked about, but it's like it worked, like I said, for a bit, and then it went back to normal. It wasn't until like maybe 6th or 7th grade that he actually like stopped, when his mom finally took him out to school and he transferred to a whole different school. I feel like that was kind of the best day of my life, because I was like, oh my god, I don't gotta worry about this no more, you know, stuff like that. I don't gotta worry about coming to school, about getting bullied about the shoes that I wear, my hair, my head, the way I'm shaped. Like, you know, I didn't have to worry about any of that. So that was kind of like a day that I was really happy to hear that he was coming back to the school. Me and this kid, guys, like, I really went through a lot with that kid, and to look back on it now, it's like, damn, I really did go through a lot of real big bullying session. I mean, bully phase in my life. But as soon as I got to 8th grade, I ended up transferring to a whole different school. And at that school, nobody bullied me, y'all. Like, everybody and me had no problem. There was just one girl that didn't like me, but she never like bullied me. We just didn't speak. You know, it wasn't like nothing serious. It was just that we just wasn't cool anymore. She didn't really like me. I didn't really like her either. That was just that. But other than that, nobody really bullied me in 8th grade when I went to my new school. Everybody was mostly cool with me. I have no issues with nobody, you know? So I felt like 8th grade is finally the first time that I didn't have to worry about that. You know, I could go to school and feel happy, you know, stuff like that. Ever since he left the school, I really didn't have no one really bullying me anymore. And in high school, I didn't get bullied at all. In high school, I felt like I was gonna get bullied so much because it was high school. You know, when you watch these movies and stuff in high school, before you get there for yourself to see it, you think high school's gonna be this way, it's gonna be that way. And high school was the exact opposite of what I thought it was gonna be, which is good because I didn't have to go through any of that. Other than that, it was just crazy throughout middle school dealing with him. But yeah, the moral behind that story time was just like, a lot of people don't know that about me, you know, that I used to get bullied a lot, and I did. And honestly, if you're going through bullying out there for yourself, I just want to tell you, speak up. Don't be afraid to tell somebody what's going on, because at the end of the day, to keep all that to yourself, it's only gonna make you feel worse every single day. You need to let it out. Keeping all of that bundled in, one day you're just gonna explode, and that's what happened to me. One day I just exploded with all my emotions, and nobody knew what was happening because I didn't speak, you know. So it was all new to them, but for me, it wasn't. It was like, it felt like a forever thing, you know. If you're going through this, tell somebody, whether it's your parent, whether it's a friend, whether it's somebody at your school that you can trust. Somebody, let somebody know what's going on, because it'll help you a lot. It'll help you to get everything off your chest. So at least you know that you told somebody, and they can either give you the best advice that they can, or they can lead you in the right direction to talk to, or whatever the case is. Because don't be like me and let it get worse and get to the point where you're actually trying to kill yourself. Like, don't let it get like that. And that's a whole nother story again for another time. But just know that you're not alone. There's people out there that are going through the same situation, and if you reach out, maybe, you never know, that other person could be going through the same stuff, and you guys can come together and help one another out. And I wish I had that at that time. I wish I had told somebody, because I feel like if I did, it wouldn't have been as hard as it was for me. You grow up and you learn. So if you're someone out there that's bullying somebody, don't do it. Stop. Because bullying is really life damaging. You might think it's something, oh, it's just little teasing for fun, or it's just me trying to be funny, I didn't really mean it. You cannot mean it, but that person, you never know what they're going through out of school. You never know what they're going through personally. Always try to be nice to people. Like, don't make fun of somebody because of the way they look, the way they dress. Like, you never know what's going in that person's head. You could just trigger something. Look, there's kids nowadays that's killing themselves because of being bullied. So when I hear stuff like that, it makes me feel terrible, because that could have been me, you know. That I could have been one of those kids that killed themselves because of bullying. I'm happy that I didn't, because now I'm still here and I get to experience, and I get to share my experience with somebody, hoping that it will encourage somebody else to open up, encourage somebody else to stop the bullying. If you are bullying somebody, I just hope that my story can make a difference to somebody else. That's really all I want. But yeah, that was the end of my mini story time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned something about me. Like I said, not many people know that I used to get bullied. So now you guys know something personal about me. It feels kind of good to kind of like share that with you guys, and know that it's going to be out there for everybody to listen to. It makes me feel a little relieved, because I feel like I'm telling my true story, well, part of it, and I'm doing what I should have did couple years ago. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new. And don't forget to hit that post notification bell, because I do post notification at the end of every single video. And while we're speaking of that, I'm about to do today's post notification shout out winner. So today's post notification winner goes to Canon G7xii. Hey Canon, congratulations, you're today's post notification winner, and thank you for turning on that post notification bell. Thank you for subscribing, and always tuning in with me, because I'll be seeing you. If you guys want another story time or a part 2 about my bully experience or anything like that, leave it in the comment section down below. Don't forget, if you know somebody that's being a bully, or know somebody that's getting bullied, be there for them, or tell that person to stop bullying, because it's not okay. Period. But I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.